Good morning. Thank you. I hope you're all well. Thank you for joining me. I'm back on board. I sort of struggled through last week. I'm back on board. Apparently I have a sinus infection, so that sort of knocked me around a little bit. Still not 100%, but feeling pretty fabulous this morning. First off, thank you for all your beautiful support, your loving and kind words, and your healing, which many of you sent me. I never tire of listening to you, give me the feedback from the readings, add your little ideas or whatever. I never tire of any of that, so please keep sharing with me. Many of you write me emails too to let me know where you're up to on your journey, and I want to say thank you for that too. Do I need the validation? No, but I love to see you on track for getting what you want. It's so important to me. If I know you're putting in the work and healing, fabulous. All right, a few things to bring you up to speed. I cancelled the intermediate class for tarot for the 24th of July because I had very few people interested, but the beginners class in August is still going ahead. I think I have round about 6 out of the 10 in that class already, so if you're interested in that, please check the box below. With the beginners class, even if you've got a little bit of knowledge of the tarot, I would say to you, when I say beginners, it sort of sounds like you don't need to know anything, which you don't, but it is about you understanding like the colours on the cards, the numbers, what the cards mean, all of those sort of things. So we do a lot of that in the beginning, and then we start going into sort of a more reading the cards using your intuition. We still have the pajama party on August the 1st. Bookings for that are still open. If you're interested in that, we're doing it on Zoom online. I'm not sure that the time's going to suit everybody, but we'd love to have you there. So I'm doing that with the psychic pin-up. And all other engagements at the moment are on hold because they keep extending our lockdown. So we're currently experiencing around about 100 people a day. So it's pretty tough here. They've shut all business now, all workplaces other than essentials. So pretty tough on the people in the Sydney area, and Victoria's now on a lockdown as well for a few days until they, I think it's more about the tracking, finding out, because they've got people that have COVID that they don't know where they've got it from, so I guess they're still tracking. Is there anything else, Yvonne? Oh yes, 2 things. Okay, so the first one is I'm about to start up the Akashic Records readings. I've been doing a lot of work on that in the last few weeks, and I feel confident now. They will be a little bit more than what other readings would be, because they entail about an hour of meditation and an hour to 2 hours of a written report. So if you're interested in those, I will advertise them on my website shortly, but you can contact me directly because I might do them a little bit more cost effective until I get up and running and see how long they actually take. But at this stage, about 3 hours. And the other thing is I've been doing a lot of astrology study, and I hope to be ready to interpret natal charts soon. That's my first step. So it will only be natal charts. I haven't quite got into the transits yet, so it will only be like studying your birth chart and giving you feedback on that. But that will still help you know where you need to develop, learn and grow, and that's my intention. I'm all about the learning, as you know. All right, let's get into this reading. We're going to use the Witch's Tarot for your reading today. Let's see what's going on in the big world of tarot. Hello, we have the King of Swords coming straight out. So the King of Swords is a card that represents Leo, Sag, Aries. Since I've been doing the astrology too, I have so much more insight into my tarot. I had a good insight before, and now I have a very good insight. So I'm starting to understand some of the more deeper astrological meanings to the cards, which I'm really loving. Plus understanding more about myself, which is pretty awesome. But anyway, the King of Swords represents the air signs. As an energy, It is about really the masculine energy. This person doesn't necessarily have to be a male. It can be your energy, but it's more about the masculine energies. The King of Swords can be a little cold sometimes, a little bit cutting, often represents people in positions of power where they have to use their voice, doctors, lawyers. I find it often represents people in IT industries or comms, communication industries. The King of Swords as a person can be a little cold and a little cutting. He's learned how to get himself to the top. He is the king of the suit. But at times he can come across very abrupt or very sort of severe because he delivers his message. He's a communicator. That's what he does. I also note that I'm really drawn to the hawk on his hand today. So that says to me, whoever you're dealing with here has now seen the big picture. This is a person who's no longer looking at the details. They're looking at the big picture and understanding there's a greater purpose here. All right, so we have the Strength card coming through. You could be dealing with a Leo here. You could be dealing with a Leo who has a lot of air in their chart, or vice versa. The Leo card is the card that for me always represents our shadow side, taming those parts of ourselves that we don't understand well, but that we set out to understand ourselves better. Sometimes I know Brené Brown talks about, you can't hide one thing in your psyche without covering up everything. So if you're hiding one thing about yourself, whether that's consciously or subconsciously that you don't like or that somebody's told you isn't good, then you hide everything else away as well. So if somebody shames you or makes you feel guilty about an aspect of yourself, remember that is them talking, not you. But even as children, we tend to take that information on board. So what we do then is we sort of manufacture we wear a mask basically, because we're frightened that the aspect that person's told us about means we're not very nice people, so we hide everything. The Strength card talks about integrating that into your existence. So being able to understand those parts of yourselves you've hidden away, but being comfortable to integrate them into yourself and just know that they are just part of who you are. Without them, you are incomplete. So for example, if you are a very, say, loud or I was going to say rambunctious, I can't remember what the word is, but out there person, and someone said to you, because it makes them feel uncomfortable, you're too loud or you're too noisy, if you hide that away, it means you're going to hide other attributes of yourself away rather than expose every part of you to the world. So you wear a mask. That's where the idea of a mask comes from. It's because you're not showing your truth. Okay, so we have the High Priest or the Hierophant coming out here. I feel like here there is a really strong energy here of you either repeating some sort of pattern that's causing your life to become more unstable. What's happening here is there's something that you've been doing. It could be something you've been showing the world who you are, that you have become now aware of is not what you want to be. Okay, for example, we were talking about Chiron retrograde yesterday, and I sent some stuff out to people on Chiron retrograde. Chiron is the wounded, it shows the wounded parts of you. It's a planet that shows the wounded parts of you. And during a Chiron retrograde, some of those things are going to come to the surface. Now, somebody said, how do you find your Chiron? You can actually Google a Chiron calculator. So, for example, if your Chiron's in, say, somewhere where it shows something about your childhood or shows something about you, it may show like Aries with wounding, healing, that type of thing. You can find out what parts of you might need to be healed, because they are going to be brought to the surface in a Chiron retrograde. So it's quite interesting to look into, but I feel like by understanding this wounded part of yourself, you're going to bring more stability to your own life here. Oh wow, a Ten of Cups, what can I say? So it's sort of an energy of you taking on, I sort of see this this King of Swords, and I wonder if this is you sort of starting to understand how to look at something in a more logical way. Maybe you're moving some sort of emotion aside to be able to understand this part of you that you keep repeating the pattern of. But it might mean too, with this energy, that it's come to the surface now to be worked on. But I feel really strongly, whatever this is, it's going to bring you great joy here. With this 10 of Cups, I want to sneak a peek behind that. It's going to bring love in for you. So let's say by healing those parts of you that you are now starting to understand are, I don't want to say an issue or a problem, because that sort of makes it sound like they're really negative, and I don't want to do that. Most of us have hidden away parts of ourselves because we thought it was the right thing to do, because we didn't want to hurt people. So if someone said to you that you're loud and they can't stand your voice, well, then you start to sort of become a small person. But in becoming small, you should hide away all those other aspects of yourself. I'm feeling here that there's a lot of self-love that you've been denying yourself here. A lot of self-love that would, move you forward. It's all about stability and love, this reading. It's very much about moving you into some sort of stable place here. For some of you, if you're on a twin journey, it could mean that this element, or making this thing about yourself, I'm sweating while I'm sitting here and I've only got the heater on, this element of yourself, it's sort of like it will bring you into the energy of love, which might bring you to some sort of union here. So what you're doing in effect is bringing your vibration up to where you need to be in this self-love card. Let's have a look closer and see what they say. All right, so we have the Seven of Wands. The Seven of Wands is a card of being resistant. It is a card of being defiant. It is a card of standing your ground. I feel like you're doing this with something. So maybe up until now you've defended defended something about yourself by having some sort of limited belief to back that up. So for example, let's use the loudness one again. If somebody said to you, you're too loud, and you quietened yourself down and stood in the background, when other people mention those things, you might become a little defensive and a little bit upset at people for saying that. It becomes a trigger. And what a lot of people don't understand is those triggers are there to help you heal. And sometimes we're unaware of our triggers. It's not all triggers. Not all triggers are conscious. So sometimes you can feel yourself getting really aggravated and the heat rising to your face and you feel really uncomfortable. But you're not quite sure what it is about that particular thing that has triggered you. It's a very childlike emotional response. So somebody says something, you snap back, and then later on you think, why did that hurt my feelings so much? What was it about that situation that really hurt me? And I feel like with this Seven of Wands, it's time to put that down. It's time to understand those triggers are there to help you to grow. So understanding them will definitely put you on some path of healing here. Let's just... I always say it's like driving a ute, reversing a ute here. Okay. All right, so we have the Nine of Pentacles. I love that we've got that there with the Ace of Pentacles. You're giving yourself a brand new start here. You're finding your passion. You're getting in touch with your own creativity. You are starting to understand how you've held yourself back. Taking on Leo energy. I love it. It's sort of this energy of you've hidden away for so long. You've hidden something underneath that shadow that you've hidden away is your creativity. It's the crux of who you are. It's the beauty of what you bring to the world. And it's like you've hidden it away and you've kept it so hidden here with this Seven of Wands that every time it's triggered, you have sort of felt uncomfortable with that. And triggers do make us feel uncomfortable. They do. They can be quite distressing because sometimes we're not really understanding what has triggered us, but then we really don't know how to handle that trigger, which can be really upsetting. there is sort of this energy with a trigger too, that you keep going over and over it in your head. You keep asking yourself, what is it, what is it, what is it? Because you can't quite grasp what it is here. So what you're doing in effect here is you're moving yourself into new creation here, and you're finding this passion deep within you that you have kept hidden away. All right, so we have the Four of Cups with the Three of Swords. Yeah, okay, so for some of you it's about heartache. So if you've had pain and heartache in your past and you haven't dealt with those emotions and you've kept them really, really deep within you, it can impede your progress here in taking new opportunities. So if you've been hurt and the pain from that particular hurt is stuck within you, then you need to understand how to let it go, how to forgive. But for example, if somebody said to you, which I've had said to me before, why should I forgive a person? They don't deserve to be forgiven. And I always say it's not about forgiving them, it's about forgiving yourself. So if you've kept that within your heart and you've blamed yourself or felt guilty or shamed for something that's happened in the past here, then what you're doing here is you're stopping your energy from taking new opportunities. So this may mean you've blocked yourself from love, you've blocked yourself from creativity. I want to say creativity because I feel like that for most people that's what it's about. And there is a need here for you to put down this burden. What I see is this part of you just aching to come to the surface, aching to come out. It wants to be integrated with yourself. But it's like because of this pain here, you're holding on to it because you feel somewhere deep inside of you, it sort of either keeps punishing you, you're self-flagellating with it, but whatever it is, it's stopping you taking new opportunities here. Look at this, Nine of Swords with the Six of Cups, something from your past here with the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so there is something from your past. Now for some of you, this could be childhood. For others of you, it may be a relationship. But there is something from your past that you haven't communicated. There's a block on your communication here and it's stopping you moving forward. It may be creating anxiety in your sleep at night. But it's stopping you reaching this abundance here with the Ten of Pentacles. So it's like you are using this particular blockage to stop yourself from moving forward. Now it may not be conscious, and this is why we have the trigger. This is why you are being triggered on something. So if something, and if you don't understand a trigger, if something really hurts you deeply and you find yourself reacting, even if you're not reacting openly, you can feel it inside, your heart starts to race, the blood rushes to your face, and you can be on the verge of crying, or on the verge of anger coming to the surface. Now, if you've suppressed anger as a child, you may suppress that and just say it's uncomfortable, I don't want to feel it. But what the universe is saying here is in order to remove this blockage and move forward and become this beautiful creation of yourself, you need to acknowledge this pain of the past here. I feel like for some of you this could be past heartbreak, and maybe because of this heartbreak you're harboring feelings that you could have done something differently yourself, because there's blame and shame here. So I feel like somehow or another you've got to release this, you've got to understand it in order to pick up this beautiful energy here that you left behind. Because you're not getting offers here. It's like you've blocked offers coming through, and it might be for some of you offers of new love. But something here from your past is holding you back. For others of you, it could be about childhood, because the Six of Cups can often talk about childhood. So it could be that you're holding on to some sort of energy from your childhood here. You might have been made to feel small by a parent, maybe not intentionally. Parents can do things unintentionally. But let's have a look. All right, so we have the King of Swords. So I feel like you may be taking on some sort of energy of investigation here with this King of Swords. To me, it looks like you're taking your power back. Maybe you're working with this shadow energy here. It will bring you more stability, but what it will stop you from is cycling this pain or this upset or hurt. And it will bring you in the Ten of Cups, and it also brings you in what I feel here is self-love, which may lead to a brand new love for you, but it also means that you learn the love for yourself, which you've hidden away. And it may seem small that as a child you're told that something isn't quite right about you, but you would be absolutely so surprised on how that impacts you as an adult. Absolutely. As a child you're so impressionable, and people say things because it makes them feel uncomfortable. Always remember that. It's not a real reflection of who you are. It can be something as simple as nosy. Okay, there's a good one. Nosiness. Stop being so nosy. Mind your own business. So then you don't ask questions anymore. Well, how do you learn without asking questions? So as an adult, you may feel really uncomfortable about asking someone what they want from a relationship. So whatever this is for you, it is shifting something within you, because it's bringing in this beautiful Ten of Pentacles energy here. All right, let's get some advice from the universe. What a beautiful reading. All right, that one's come through, the lower world, which is card 31. And don't worry, people still say those things to you as an adult, but as an adult you have to learn to be able to say that's not your problem. What other people think of you is none of your business. None of your business. So if people are saying things to you now that really don't reflect who you are, remember, it's their discomfort, not yours. The lower world holds the hidden treasures of humanity. It is a place of rich and fruitful darkness where we can find disowned parts of ourselves and abandoned aspects of our psyches. The lower world is the place of our ancestors where we discover the gifts and lessons from the past. It is the realm of the collective unconscious. Here we can meet our demons and transform them into pure energy, our source of personal power. It is time to unearth your hidden treasures. Do not make yourself small in order for others to like or accept you. Bring out the gems and precious stones that you have kept inside your heart, hidden even from yourself. It's time to honour your past and recast your life as a heroic quest. As you journey into the lower world, you will be offered all the gifts of your ancestors. Their struggles, the way they hurt, the way they lived and the way they died will become blessings. Now, I'm going to read the medicine again because this card is so pure and so beautiful to receive. Thank you, Spirit, because that was just a beautiful card to pull through. Are you one of those people who do not like to face the past? Now your past is calling to be acknowledged, to be heard and to be embraced. The only way to become unstuck is to honour everything that has transpired in your life, reflect on the lessons learned and move on. If you bear witness to your past and learn its lessons, it will stop haunting you. That's the Nine of Wands energy. As you embrace its gifts, you will recover a missing part of your soul. How beautiful is that? Oh, I can't believe it. Have a wonderful day. Thank you.